Good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 5, that is public enterprises in India. Public enterprise, you can say what it is. A public enterprise is a business undertaking, it is also a business. A public enterprise is a business undertaking which is owned, managed, and controlled by the government. Whenever we talk about public enterprises, means we are talking about that type of enterprise which is controlled by the government on behalf of the public at large. What else you can say? Public enterprises are run mainly to provide services to the public. For example, hospital, you can say it is a public enterprise which is mainly made for general public, and there the prices, there the fees and everything is at reasonable cost. That type of enterprise is known as public enterprise, which is generally provided to the public, and it is run or controlled, or it is owned, managed and controlled by the government. So we will start public sector enterprises. Public sector enterprises, simply you can say it is a business undertaking which is owned, controlled and managed by government. The basic aim, what you can say, the basic aim of a public enterprise is to provide goods and services to the public at reasonable price. Because when we talk about the private sector, there we can see that the things which we get, the services which we get is not at reasonable price. For example, you take an example of private hospital, and if you go to a government hospital, there if you will compare the fees price, there you will see that the fee structure is same. In private sector the fees is very high, and in government sectors or government enterprises you can see that the price are reasonable low than the private enterprises. Therefore, you can say that the basic aim of a public enterprise is to provide goods and services to the public at reasonable price. It ensures balanced regional development of industry and prevents concentration of economic power. A public sector enterprises or a public enterprise is one which is owned, managed and controlled by the central government or any state government or any local authority. They are also known as public undertakings. They are also known as public undertakings. The forms of organization public enterprises are, now there in public enterprise we will see that public enterprise can be divided into three parts, that is departmental undertakings, public corporations, and third one is government companies. Government company was there in the previous lesson also. That is in that lesson I have said we will discuss in the next chapter. So here we will discuss about what is government company. So when we talk about public enterprises, we can say that public enterprises can be classified into three parts, that is departmental undertakings, public corporations, and third one is government companies. Many definitions are there also in your book. That is, public enterprises means state ownership and operation of industrial, agriculture, financial and commercial undertaking. Thus, the easy definition what you can say is public enterprises are those which are owned, controlled and managed by the government on behalf of public, and it is generally made, and its basic aim is to provide goods and services to the public at reasonable prices. Now there are some characteristics of public sector enterprises, characteristics, or you can say the objective characteristics. State ownership, it can be state control, the state can control these type of enterprises. State finance, State, because it is controlled by the state government or the central government. That is why the state finance also these type of enterprises. Socio-economic objective, the objective is not only to earn profit, the objective is socio-economic objective. The socially, what is benefit for the society, that type of objective these type of enterprises goes through. Now, public accountability, whatever is done in this type of industries, whatever is done in this type of enterprises, whatever money is taken from the public, whatever expenses are there, whatever revenues are there, everything is visible to the general public. That is why you can say that these are the characteristics of the public enterprises. Now, characteristic, that is state ownership, state control, that all we have discussed, state financing, socio-economic objectives, then public accountability. Next is objectives of public enterprises. Objective of public enterprises: to achieve rapid economic development, to channelize resources, to collect resources, and from that resources provide useful things to the society, to ensure balanced regional development. Balanced regional development, because of the public enterprises there is a regional development in the nation. To prevent concentration of economic power, to prevent concentration of economic power by the public enterprises, there is no power in the general public, no one can control the price, everything is controlled by the government. To prevent the growth of monopoly, to control the prices of essential good, no one can increase the price by their own, only government can control. So government will think of the society and then accordingly they will increase the price. To secure public welfare, to reduce inequalities in income distribution, to provide satisfactory employment, to mobilize saving through financial institution to meet demands of public and private enterprise. In the book also it is given in point like establishing socialistic pattern of society, restraining monopolistic tendencies, providing employment opportunities, balance regional growth, public utilities. They provide these type of enterprises provide that type of thing which is needed, which is required by the general public. Accelerating economic growth, provision of infrastructure. Now, planned growth, because it is a government enterprise, therefore government will first take sufficient time to plan everything, then they will introduce the plan in the market, and then if everyone is satisfied, then only they will start. Mobilization of funds for development of projects. Now, whatever revenues are coming in this type of enterprises, government then they spend on a project of the nation. Defense requirement, labor welfare and security, exploitation of natural resources, because here natural resources are used and by that resources many useful products are made. Increase revenue of the government. Increase revenue of the government by opening public enterprises. When government will open their own enterprises, the revenue of the government will always increase. Now, if revenue will increase of government, means our country is growing. Providing essential goods and services cheaply. Now, when we talk about public enterprise, there we can see that the price of all the goods and services are relatively low than the private sectors. Absorbing sick unit. Now, in financial crisis also, government, because these type of industries, these type of enterprises government has opened, that is why they provide help to this type of industry or the lower units. Now, reasons for the government participation in business. Why government has opened public enterprises? Because it is a planned development for infrastructural facilities, for regional development, They act as an employer, social welfare, government of employment, distribution of economic gains, need for nationalization. Next topic which is in your book, that is forms of public enterprises. We can classify public enterprises into three categories, that is departmental undertakings, public corporations and government company. Now what is departmental? All are public enterprises which is owned, controlled and managed by the government. First of all, when we talk about departmental undertaking, departmental undertaking is a public enterprise because it is a it come under the category of public enterprise. Therefore, first you will write departmental undertaking is a public enterprise which is organized, controlled and managed by the government in the same way as any other government departments. Now, you can say this departmental undertaking is the oldest method of organizing and managing the affair of state enterprises. It is organized, financed and controlled in the same way as the other government departments. It is run either by the central government or by the state government. This is very important. This departmental undertaking is managed, is run either by central government or by the state government. Here the finance is provided by the government and management is in the hand of a civil body. In other words, departmental undertakings are managed by civil government who are government employees and work under the control of ministers. This departmental undertaking is run by the central or state government and it is controlled, and the employees who work here are under the control of a minister. Here you can say big enterprises will come. Big enterprises of government will come, like railways, post and telegraphs, PWD departments, Indian Railways, Petroleum and Chemical Department, Defense Industries, Atomic Power Industries, Security and Currency Press, Overseas Communication Services, all big industries which is controlled by the central government, in which the central government has to involve. This type of enterprises will come in departmental undertaking. So you have to learn that it is the oldest form. It is controlled by central or state government and the employees who work here are under the control of minister. Big industries like big enterprises like railways, post and telegraphs, defense, atomic power industries, this type of enterprises will come in departmental undertaking. Now next is features of formation. How it is formed? It is created by the government and it is attached to a particular ministries. No separate legal entity because it cannot run without government. It is not a separate legal entity. It cannot sue and cannot be sued without government consent. Management and control, everything is managed and controlled by the government. Finance, it is wholly financed by the government out of budgetary appropriations. No borrowing powers, it has no power to borrow, no authority to use revenue. Now, no employee can use whatever revenue is coming in this type of enterprises. They can't use the revenue by themselves. Everything is controlled by the government. Now, merits, many merits are there, like easy to form, easy financing, secrecy, accountable to people. In your book, merits are given, that is public interest, departmental undertaking, that type of enterprises are made for public interest. Secrecy is there because everything is controlled by the government. Parliamentary control because ministers are also there involved. Effective economic control because government is there to secure control over the economy. Many non-profit earning public utility services are organized here. Their next one is complete government control, contribution to the revenue of government, effective in public accountability. Next is effectiveness in stable government, loyal and responsible executives. Because the executives or the employee who come under, they come through a special process or through special exam. They are government employees. Now demerits, there is a lack of flexibility, lack of quick decision making, lack of management, low efficiency guided by political consideration, and lack of autonomy. That is in your book also, absence of competition and profit motive. In government companies, you will see that everything is controlled, managed, and profit is coming in the same margin. Therefore, in the employees, there is no competition, and profit motive is also not there. Excessive government interference, because it is managed by government, therefore every time government interference will be there. Bureaucratic control, red tapeism and bureaucracy means like lack of quick decision making. Everything will always means everything will be complicated and everything will take time. Lack of professional management, then lack of financial dependence, because everything we have to depend on the government. Political changes affect working. Now any political changes, any policies change, that will also affect the enterprise. Lack of competent staff, lack of flexibility and initiative, burden on public, then discontentment among employees. This was all about departmental undertaking. Again, departmental undertaking, you can say that it is owned and managed by central or state government, and the employees here are under the control of ministry. Here big industries, big enterprises like railway, post and telegraph services will come. Now next is public corporation, or you can say public statutory corporation. It is named as public corporation or statutory corporation. Here you can say it is a body corporate created by an act of parliament or legislature. There it was run by, in departmental undertaking, it was run by central government or the state government. Here it is created by the act of parliament or legislature. It is considered to be the most suitable form of organization for managing a government enterprise. It is a corporate entity having a perpetual succession and common seal. It has autonomy and well-defined powers and duties for managing its activity. A public corporation is more flexible, enjoys greater autonomy, both financial and managerial, and is exempted from budgetary, accounting and state audit control. This corporation works for maximization of social welfare. It is managed and controlled. There in departmental undertaking, it was managed and controlled by the central or state government. Here it is controlled by board of directors appointed by the government. It is accountable to the public through central or state legislature. Here which type of enterprises will come? Like LIC, Reserve Bank of India, you will learn this. Reserve Bank of India will come in public corporation, like Indian Airlines Corporation, UTI, LIC, Damodar Valley Corporation. Everything will come in public corporation. State Bank of India, these all will come in public corporation. Now features, formation. Public corporation is created by special act of central or state legislature. It is separate legal entity. Like a company, it has a separate legal entity. It can sue and sue and be sued. Departmental undertaking, it does not have a separate legal entity because it cannot do anything other than government. Management and control, it is managed by the board of director. There in departmental undertaking, it was managed and controlled by the government. Finance, it is wholly financed by the government. Borrowing powers, it has powers to borrow funds from government as well as public. Here, departmental undertaking, they are not eligible to borrow money from the public. But here, public corporation, they are eligible to borrow money from the public in form of shares. Authority to use revenue, it has authority to use its revenue. Budgeting and auditing, it has power to prepare its budgets. Accountability, it is accountable to the public through concerned legislatures. Then public service motive, it is its primary motive of formation is to public service and not earning profit. Now merits. Now many merits or advantages are there. They are accountable to public. Flexibility is there. In departmental undertaking, flexibility is not there. Then easy to raise funds. Here from the public we can take money. Therefore we can say that there in public corporation there is a ease to raise funds. Next is work with service motive. Now in the book also, free from red tapeism and bureaucracy. Then internal autonomy is there. Flexibility in operation, because so much interference of government is not there. Everything is managed by the board of directors. More stability. Service motive, economies of large scale, protection of public interest, capital at cheaper rate of interest, professional efficiency and parliamentary control. Next is merits of public corporation, or you can or here it is demerits. That is lack of autonomy in practice, unresponsive towards customer, difficulty in charging the act. Now many things are there: abuse of monopoly, misuse of autonomy, misuse of financial power, absence of commercial principle, hurdles and efficiency, rigidity of function suitable for a very big state enterprises, lack of personal touch. These were the demerits of or disadvantages of public corporation. Now, in the next lecture, we will study about government company, that is the third form of public enterprises. Till then, thank you.